Hello, Lent Madness, global viewing public. It is not the Monday Madness. It is the Tuesday tournament, the Tuesday triumph. We're here with you on a Tuesday, Desmond Tutu Tuesday, Brother Tuesday of Tizay. We're doing it here with you. We hope you are as excited as we are as we look at what is coming up. Some of those magic ministry moments that filled our heart, and of course, crowned some new canons of comments. Christian, how you doing? What stuck out to you this week? We're almost here. We're almost in the Saintly 16.
The Saintly 16. We were up all night just watching that crazy matchup going down. There was people voting from all over the place. Was Marina going to give the last second three-pointer from the corner? They were going to OT. Joan of Arc did. She came through and she found the guts and glory. But I mean, that's why we had to take Monday off. It was just too much. We had to go to 2-2 Tuesday because the Monday Madness was too much for us. We had to take a breather because that was a wow. Joan of Arc almost went down.
Yeah. Talk about an upset of the century. But you know what? The faithful came out, and it was a big week all the way around. But man, I am so excited as we move into the Saintly 16. We still got a couple great matchups this week to close out the round of 32. Is there anything that is really getting you pumped for what we're going through this week?
Well, I'll tell you, man, this season for sure has been, I mean, the engagement has been really off the charts. Like literally it has been. The numbers have been pretty wild. So you guys are coming out, you guys are hungry. Just the comments on just the website for the blogs has been awesome following it. And so I'm really curious how y'all are going to come out hard for either. We got in the Sweet 16, the first round of the Sweet 16, we are going to have none other than Martin Luther, not the king, but we also have Hooker. I was about to say our colleague Hannah Hooker from Arkansas, great priest, by the way. So if we have Hooker, shout out Hannah. If we have Hooker versus Luther, are the Episcopalians just going to automatically assume Hooker? Are they just going to go in that way? Anyone from the Anglican persuasion? Or I'm just curious to see how much Lutheran theology is really going to be just pulling people to vote for our man from Germany.
95 theses and a Hooker ain't one.
Oh my gosh, that was pretty good. Leave a comment if you like that one.
And we'll see if the Lutherans come on out. It's funny, when we had Wesley versus Luther, the Methodists, we were getting posted on the Methodist pages, and still Luther came out ahead. So it will be a very good matchup. But the one I'm very excited for is Blessed Gerard versus Julie Billiard. Blessed Gerard is pretty unknown, but is somebody who's still very impactful in the church today. They just celebrated 1,000 years of his legacy of Hospitaller Knights, the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, headed by the King of England. The Order of Malta, still active today, traces their roots all the way back to that Holy Land, Crusader Knights that were Hospitaller Knights, and still is at work. The oldest ambulance in sort of ambulance corps that was ever made is in credit to the Order of St. John. So I'm curious if those folks make their way out or if they stand with Julie Billiard, who took us from the Celtic understanding to the Latin church. It's going to be a good one. The Cluniac reforms. We could go on and on. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But Instead of listening to me nerd out about this, let's listen to some other people, our friends, those canons of commenters who have been coming through on that blog, on Facebook, on Instagram. People have been going crazy. So let's name some new canons. Christian, do you have somebody in mind?
I do. So Fiona, love you. You always have great comments, but on the big matchup that we see, and I'm just pulling you up right here between Joan of Arc and Marina the Monk, I think you said what's on a lot of people's minds, and they just weren't sure. You're our Thomas. You know, Thomas said what everyone else was too afraid to say. So you, my sister, said, listen, I struggle with this idea of sainthood being attached to someone who's involved with war. And so I think that's the issue that some of us have with Joan of Arc. Like, what do we do with that? So deeply uncomfortable with the idea of a faith being co-opted in the service of war. However, righteous the cause might seem, I cast my vote for Marina and all for all those who with quiet faithfulness, humility, point others towards God. I don't want to get into a whole conversation about the just war issue, but it's hot. It's a hot topic right now. So it's one that we think about. And so Fiona, thank you for naming that and for us calling and saying, we got to wrestle with that in Christian ethics. And we've probably been doing that for 2,000 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Among many of the issues that we're continuing to struggle with, and especially in this time, like the call and the witness of what it means to be a Christ follower in the midst of conflict, is something that I think we all are wrestling with. And that's why for me, I have loved seeing the way that this community of faith, of Lent Madness followers, the global viewing public, have lived in to what we're trying to do here. And no more has that been done than our friends at St. Mary's Episcopal Church in Eugene, Oregon, where they've actually been raising money with bracket sales as part of their own discipleship program. And they've been using the trading cards. They've put up weekly email announcements, and they're debating and going back and forth. And we love to see that kind of love and growth in the saints, and especially our incredible community makers and bridge builders. So shout out to everybody, lots of cannons, St. Mary's in Eugene, Oregon. Okay, we've got our 2 new cannons. We've looked back. We've got some excitement for what's to come. But is there anything in particular, Christian, that we need to make sure we touch on here before we move on and let people get to vote?
Well, I think that if I look back at this last week and what has really touched my heart, I think we always want to, we always said that part of this taking it over was not just us doing this kind of like Sports Center type take on the Saints with March Madness, with basketball, but really also to reflect and to apply to our own lives. And so it's cool seeing, this is new to the church I serve in Stuart, Florida, St. Mary's, and seeing how we had Cosmas and Damien from this last week really start to affect people. We're definitely the Spirit's moving the church to be focusing more and more on being this community of faithful, an oasis for healing. And Cosmas and Damien, there's people who came up to me like, oh gosh, I love Cosmas and Damien. And it's just, I want the church to be that place again where people come for healing. Emotional and spiritual, but also physical healing. And so just to take that and for them to read the blogs, engage with the blogs, learn more about Cosmas and Damien. They didn't know about Cosmas and Damien and said, oh wow, this is sainthood stuff that we could step into and hopefully do at our church, was really cool to see right in the moment.
I love it. And that's exactly what we're hoping to see lived out. Looking back, I think for me, our man who's in it right now, I'm deeply close to, is Brother Roger of today in this matchup, which he's having a hard time. But this marker of unity and grace and joy and calling people into relationship regardless of Christian background and denomination, taking what was a refuge for those fleeing Nazi Germany and turning into a pilgrimage site where tens of thousands of kids are flocking to, is pretty amazing. And so again, another moment in which we are called to be those bridge builders, to be community, to be communion with one another. And gosh, I'm so grateful for Lent Madness for allowing us to have this community, this communion together, even if, some of our antics, some of their new voting systems, maybe things aren't going exactly as we need them to just at the moment, but we're working hard on it. We're working on it for you. And we're grateful for you all for joining in with us all along the way. Well, Christian, I think that about covers it before we move into Wacky Wednesday and Throwdown Thursday and Faithful Friday, all of the above. We're getting out of the round of 32. We're moving into the Saintly 16. Do we have another word for the good people before we head on out?
Well, friends, if you're following currently, as we're watching the polls right now, and I'm just going to say this as a little fun dig to my brother over here, who is a big Taizé fan of Roger. It looks like Damien is going to send him and give him his tickets to Hawaii. So happy trails, Taizé, Roger Taizé. You done good, but now it's time to head to the shores of Hawaii. Damien's got a place for you, an Airbnb.
You know, aloha means hello and goodbye. Well, friends, I don't speak enough to say Happy Lent in that way, but I'll just say, as we always do, Happy Lent.
Happy Lent.